Good day, everyone. We are the Group 16, and I am Henrich B. Victorial of BS Entre Ponders 2. Today I'm going to be presenting materials for effective on-site management. Materials for effective on-site management. Proper order processes are another step in establishing an effective materials management process in an event. It may include, but are not limited to, running sheets. Running sheets generically. A run sheet is a list of procedures or events organized in temporal sequence, as it relates to television or the stage. A run sheet breaks the show up into segments and lists which guests will appear when, for how long, and when breaks will take place. A run sheet would use in a pre-show production meeting for a live impromptu show to coordinate events for camera movement as well as any audio cues that need to be played for entrances, exit, or as part of performer's act. Run sheets are given to members of the camera and audio crew, as well as members of the stage crew to use as visual reference for cues throughout the show. I have an example here in the right screen, an example of a running sheet. The next one is copies of agreements. Planning an event takes a lot of work. For each individual or company whose services you hire, you will need a contract to protect you from being overcharged or stuck without those services on the day of the event. Use plain, concise language when writing an event contract so there is no room for misinterpretation from either party. Things you should do when writing a contract. Compile all the information you need to include in the contract in one document for your reference. This includes the names and contact information of you and the company or individual, including address, phone number, and email address, the date of the event, the time you are requiring the workers to show up, and the time the event starts and expected to end. Write a list of any relevant equipment you will be providing and what you expect the contracted worker to bring. For example, if you are hiring a DJ, make it clear if you can supply speakers but the DJ is responsible for the cables. Then create a form with sections for contact information. The dates and times listed as well as the expectation on your list. For an already formatted contract, Microsoft Office offers several free templates to choose from. Write a payment agreed by stating your name as the payer, the contracted worker name or company name as the recipient, the hourly or overall wage, and any extra fees that either liable to be added or subtracted. Specifically stated why this could happen if applicable. Include the method of payment, check, cash, or PayPal, and when the payment will be issued. If the payment will be issued on the day of the event, indicate whether that will be before or after the services are complete. Then, write a section specifically for refunds and cancellations, and explicitly state what your grounds are for not issuing payment. Include the time window to allow for cancellation. For example, the company may cancel up to 48 hours before the event, or they will be assessed a fee. State what the fees will be as well. Then, write a section for any other negotiable items specific to your event and how they may be resolved. For example, if the event is outdoors, include a rainy day plan or indicate whether you will cancel the event, how will you notify the contracted worker, and what compensation he might receive, if any. Then the last one is create a section with both your name and the contracted worker's full name. Type with a line to date and sign. Copy the signed event contract for the worker and keep an extra copy for your records. That's all for me. Hope you understand the running sheets are for, the copies of agreements, and the things you should do when writing a contract.
Good morning, I'm Maria Cristina F. Orencio. Today I will discuss the indoor and outdoor events protocol. Indoor and outdoor events protocol. All events must have adequate space for the public to move freely around the stalls, rides, camping areas, performance stage, arena exhibition areas, or etc. The routes that exist must be unobstructed by the stalls, goods, etc. And this is especially important when the event is indoors. If the event is being held outdoors, the car park, footpaths, and any staging structures should be sustainable for use in bad weather conditions, and think how bad weather was affect your emergency arrangement. In the second part, the outdoors can create unique opportunities, and large park or conference facilities often provide space for grilling and organized sports. Best of all, good weather energizes people. All the said outdoor events present a whole new set of challenges, complications, and logistical concerns. Here are a few important factors you will need to consider in organizing an outdoor event. Is the one important factors you will need to consider in organizing an outdoor event. One is make sure your event will work in an outdoor setting. Every event will work out of outdoors if you are running a technology or engineering conference, for example, then you are probably better off booking a convention center. Before committing to running an event outside, consider the core function and main objectives of your event. If even one or two of your objectives cannot be accomplished, do not go outside. The number two, ensure there's a suitable venue. Once you are certain your event can't actually be run outside, you will next want to track down a suitable venue. Here should be plenty of parks and outdoor concert halls in your city that you can make use, exactly as you would with an indoor facility. Work with the site management and understand the capacity, amen- amenities, and activities each outdoor facility can properly handle. The number three, pay attention to the weather. Since your event's being run outside, it is absolutely critical that you plan for inclement weather and monitor weather reports as even day approaches. Determine well in advance your rain day strategy. Can you easily move your event inside? Will portable pavilions provide sufficient coverage? Will you have tents set up, rain or shine? And will you postpone or cancel your event? The answer to these questions will inform many other planning decisions. Know your cost liabilities insurance options, and contract details in the event that inclement weather leads to cancellation or damages. This relates to equipment and venue rental, catering services, security, and etc. Last but not the least is 4. Don't forget your equipment. Just because you are running outdoors does not necessarily mean you will not need equipment. Running things outdoors make it a little more complicated, but it is likely you still require lighting, sound system, other such electronics, and maybe even Wi-Fi access. Your venue may have a portable generator, or you might invest in one. Let's talk about source contractors. In source contractors, dependent on the scale of your event, it is likely that you will be the services of contractors and engaging subcontractors to undertake such tasks as the constructions and tear down of temporary structures and the maintenance, installation, and of services to the site. The setup and takedown of major event sites can be extremely hazardous, and all the necessary precautions need to be put in place by the contractor and event organizer. Source contractors for events that require significant build-up, you should appoint and involve an event safety officers in the selection of contractors to ensure they adhere to safe working procedures on the site and a structural engineer to ensure any temporary structure is built to specifications. In respect of staff employed by you on construction and installation activities, the event safety officer should not only advise safe systems of work but should supervise this work. This should include ensuring that staff is trained approximately in the use of equipment or to drive forklift trucks. A unique circumstance of events is that the activities and tasks to be completed before an event greatly increases the closer you get to the start time. Most business has a much more predictable schedule. If someone is slow or does not complete work, it may influence several others. The domino effect can create a pile up of unfinished activities. With a lot of rush work to get everything done on time, this haste can be hazardous. An additional uniqueness of events is that most venues are not set up until a few days prior to opening. This makes it difficult to get a good picture of what the event site will look like on the day of the event, especially in locations not ordinarily used for events. In established venues that conduct events, you may find they have back to back events, which require setting up and tearing down. The following factors should be considered: layout, the venue or sites, viewing areas, seating arrangements, site or venue infrastructure, exit doors and routes, circulation areas, space required per person. Next is appropriate contractors. Inappropriate contractors, event organizers should intimate series of pre-planning, pre-event, and post-event meetings between the relevant external agencies and the event organizers, key personnel from the event management team. External stakeholders include contractors, suppliers, and the representatives of the statutory agencies. Contractors may include venues, speakers, staging and audiovisual suppliers, display suppliers, caterers, entertainers, and equipment hire companies. Specifications may include price, performance, standards, timelines, technical specification for equipment, theme-related requirements, regulatory requirements, and previous experience.
Monitor contractors. Monitor contractors. Many organizations use contractors to manage some or all of their facilities. Effective contractor management is vital to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of all those involved. Planning. Considering health and safety when planning work will allow you to identify hazards associated with the work, evaluate the risks and determine what control measures are necessary, decide what information, instruction, and training is required, identify how cooperation and coordination between all parties will be achieved, determine any specific health and safety requirements or conditions that need to be met, decide what they need to do to effectively manage and supervise the contractor's work. Selecting a contractor should not be based on the price. You should remember that contractors must be able to demonstrate their competence to carry out the work safely. The degree of competence required and how this will be assessed will depend on the work that is to be carried out. Clients should ask potential contractors to provide details of their experience of similar work, their health and safety policies and arrangement for managing health and safety, how they carry out risk assessment and control risk, their health and safety performance including details of accidents, relevant qualification and skills of individuals who could carry out the work, the health and safety training and information they provide to employees. Relevant safety information and requirements should be communicated to contractors. This should include details of hazards that they will face whilst on site, what to do in the event of a line or other emergency, accident reporting and first aid arrangement, the identification of any restricted areas or areas where employees may be working, waste disposal and housekeeping arrangement. Monitoring a contractor's work will allow a client to check what work is being carried out and how and whether the job is going as planned. Again, the level of monitoring required will depend on the work they are doing and the level of risk. Typical observation when monitoring contractors should include checking whether method statements and safe systems of work are being followed, checking whether contractors are following safety rules, wearing the required personal protective equipment or PPE, or disposing of waste correctly, identifying any accidents, near misses, or other incidents that have occurred or whether they have been reported, checking whether the work of the contract is putting other people at risk.
Seek information on appropriate protocol. Business protocol is a general term that may define several aspects of a business. Everything from behavior and dress to task execution is defined under a business's protocol. These guidelines are typically defined for each employee upon being hired. Employees might be asked to provide written proof that they have read, understood, and agree to the terms of their company's protocol. The purpose of business protocol is to encourage all employees in a company to act in a uniform manner. Business etiquette can be developed for face-to-face meetings and conferences, and phone calls or emails with the public, partners, or donors. A business can brainstorm difficult questions that might be asked by the public, partners, donors, or the media and provide employees with positive ways to answer these challenges. Business protocol helps to ensure that all employees understand their role in the company. the tasks and challenges they face, and how to execute them as quickly and accurately as possible. You are heading into event planning business where you will need solid social networking and business development skills to survive. Your success in this business will depend upon not only on your experience and knowledge level but also on your contact, negotiating, marketing, and entrepreneur skills. If you wish to excel in the event management field at a faster pace, then get certified. There are many events planner. Such event management certificates demonstrate competitive distinction and that you have the skills, knowledge, experience, and ability to manage a successful event. You will develop your business plan on the basis of market research, competitors analysis, and SWOT analysis of your event management company. Before developing your business plan, you should keep some points in mind. So, be realistic and avoid optimism while estimating capital requirements, sales, and profits. Do not ignore developing strategies which may come handy in case of adversities in your business. Following steps can be adopted for developing a business plan for your event management company. Outline your business objectives. What do you want to achieve in short term and in long term? What is the mission and vision of your event planning company? However, don't stick too much with long-term objectives as they may become meaningless after a long time or changes in market situation. Determine your staffing needs and should be their skill sets. Develop the organizational structure of your event management company. Outline your own skills, knowledge, and experience and determine how they can be used to achieve business success. Prepare resume of yourself and all of the people who will be involved in your business. These resumes will come handy when you will look for partners or investors later on. Determine how exactly you will find clients. How will you approach them and how will you sell your services? How will you expand your business? What will be your rules, regulations, policies, and procedures regarding payments, reimbursement, penalties, cancellations, and behavior? And last, estimate your capital requirements for 1 whole year. How will you manage the cash flow?
Thank you for watching. That's our presentation. Hope you understand something about the things we have discussed today. We are the Group 16. Thank you everyone for listening.